Hey guys, welcome back to Magic TV. My name's Craig. It is it's 9 o'clock on a Friday, and it's time for another video. And today I want to talk to you about Wayne Dobson. Unfortunately, at the beginning of this week, we all found out that Wayne Dobson has passed away, and it's really a sad time in the Magic community. Wayne was an inspiration. He was absolutely incredible. And, you know, his legacy is going to live on forever. Now, I didn't address his passing in the Magic News because it happened, by the time it happened, I was at a show and I'd already filmed the Magic News and there was no time to re-edit it. But I wanted to do something, I wanted to do a video just talking about Wayne Dobson very quickly. And talking about how important he was. You know, like, Wayne... I remember being more Wayne Dobson than Paul Daniels, and anybody that was around at that point of time will know exactly what I'm talking about. You know, you had Paul Daniels that was on BBC, but at the same time you had Wayne Dobson that was on ITV. And for me, as a kid at the time, Wayne Dobson was always more hip. He was more cool. He was the person that I gravitated towards. He was doing the bigger, slicker kind of illusions. He was more, just everything was kind of more fun about him. And I would say he's been a big influence on my career. I'm lucky that I got to know him over the years, and me and Wayne got quite close. He was also, you know, he got to know Ryland an awful lot. In fact, it was Wayne that taught Ryland how to actually do a sponge ball vanish properly. And I'm so glad that Ryland and Thea got to see Wayne Dobson perform live before he passed away in a show, which was one of the last shows he did. I'm sure everybody has their own Wayne Dobson story, and I'm sure that there are people that are sharing stories of Wayne Dobson that know him far better than I did. You know, people like Michael J. Fitch, people like Russ Stevens, people like David Penn, all knew Wayne better than me. But all I can tell you from my point of view is Wayne was a massive inspiration in my career. You know, watching the video of him going out on the Royal Variety Show and going out, this was the guy's big break. It wasn't like he had his own TV show at that point. He didn't. It was really his big break. And he went out, national TV, in front of millions and millions of people, in front of the royal family, and he elected to do a 5-card repeat in the sponge ball trick. I'm fairly sure that nobody else would have made that decision. I'm fairly sure today, if anybody was watching this, was given an opportunity to perform on stage and had to do something that would really make an impact, and if it was impactful enough, it would change the shape of your entire career, they would not choose to do a sponge ball trick. And yet it was the perfect trick for Wayne to do because it showcased the most important part of Wayne, which is, although he was an incredible magician, and although he was an incredible creator and an innovator, and he was somebody who really understood magic, at his heart, first and foremost, he was a performer. He was an entertainer. He would entertain and he would perform at an incredibly high level. And, you know, that comes from his experiences of doing, doing working men's clubs and going out and performing in really hostile environments and yet winning people over. That's why it became, and you know, if there's one thing we can learn from Wayne, it's that is important. It's important to be able to perform. As much as the magic is important, the performance, the ability to perform is important. Because if he'd have gone on the Royal Variety Show and done a technically beautiful card routine, but it hadn't have been as entertaining as his sponge ball trick was, he might never have got to where he did. And the other thing that inspires me about Wayne is the fact that no matter what life threw at him, and a lot of shit was thrown his way, he would always smile, he would always keep going, he would never give up, and he was always a shining light and inspiration. And I think about that sometimes. You know, I've gone through shit in my life. I've gone through times, you know, this is well catalogued. I've stepped away from YouTube in the past because I haven't been able to deal with stuff that's been going on online. And every time I have, I think about Wayne Dobson, because the bottom line is, no matter what I've gone through to this point in my life, no matter what I've had to deal with, it is nothing compared to what Wayne had to deal with. And yet not only did he deal with it, and deal with it in a way that nobody else would have, he did it with a smile on his face. And just, you know, and in a situation where nobody would have, you know, criticized him at all for giving up. You know, when the MS really got hold of him, nobody would have criticized him for stopping, for giving up, for just completely retreating from the public eye. But instead, he totally reinvented himself. He set up Dietrich's, and he became even bigger than ever before. In fact, I would argue that it was that point that most magicians will know him from. His amazing, wonderful contributions to magic through Dietrich's and through his production company. And then when the MS got worse, and when he started to become, you know, more immobile and very unable to do an awful lot of stuff, that's when he pivoted again. And that's when he showed us just how creative his mind is, and his mind was as sharp as a tack right up until his very final days. And you know, I think that is a source of inspiration to absolutely everybody. There is a big hole in this community now that will never be filled, and I wish it didn't happen. I wish that Wayne was still with us, but luckily his legacy lives on. And luckily there are magicians. Ryland is a perfect example. Ryland performs and has been inspired by so much of what Wayne has done. I'll never forget sort of the last time I really spent much time with him was with the Session Convention. I think it was last year. And he was being interviewed at the Session Convention on the main stage for the Insider podcast. And he came up to me and he went, you know, it'd be really funny. He wanted to do a cube solve. He wanted to solve a Rubik's Cube. And on stage, and him and Mike had worked out a way of doing a Rubik's Cube solve, and he wanted somebody in the audience to heckle him, like turn around and go, you know, he's bringing up the fact that he's going to solve Rubik's Cube, and he wanted someone in the audience to go, "You can't solve a Rubik's Cube. What are you talking about? You're embarrassing," and stuff like that. And so he came to me and he was like, I want you to do it because it's believable. And I was like, thanks, Wayne. It's unbelievable. So he scripted what he wanted me to say. I had to stand up in the middle of his interview with hundreds of magicians in the audience, stand up and just call Wayne Dobson out. And then he was just going to like ignore me and carry on. And then later on, I would heckle him again, and then I would heckle him for the third time, and then he would solve this cube, and he'd give me a quip, and I would be put in my place, and I'd sheepishly sit down. So I did this whole thing as Wayne told me to, and I felt very awkward about it beforehand, because I'm like, nobody knows about this. I'm just going to look like a total dick. Nobody knew about it. I'm like, okay, Wayne, I'll do it for you. I'll do it. And then he played his part brilliantly. I did exactly what I was told, and he played his part so well. He came across looking so good because he was like, it was like he was heckle-stoppling the bully who then just had to sheepishly sit down and shut up. For the rest of the convention, I had people coming up to me going, "Why did you do that to Wayne?" I'm like, "I didn't. It was scripted." And I'm like, "Yeah, okay, whatever. You know, you don't change, do you?" And I had to go to Wayne. I was like, "Dude, they think it's real. And then everybody here thinks I just stood up and bullied you." And all he could do was laugh. And, you know, that tells you the type of person he was. You know, he was a joker. He was somebody who, you know, saw the fun side in everything and everybody. So this video is to say, Wayne, you will be missed. Rest in peace. Thank you for everything that you've contributed to the magic community. And I want to finish off by reposting a video that I uploaded about 2.5 years ago. And it's a video of what you can learn from watching Wayne Dobson performances. I talk about my 5 favorite Wayne Dobson performances and what you can learn from watching Wayne perform these 5 particular routines. I want to repost this because it's very old. A lot of people that watch Magic TV won't have seen it. And I think now, more than ever, this is what I feel that people need to see. So I'm going to play this video, and I just want to say, Wayne, thank you for everything. On behalf of the magic community, thank you. Rest in peace. I'm going to be doing another one of my Performer Spotlight special. Now, I did this recently with Paul Daniels, and it was so well received that I've been asked to do it again. So I'm going to go and do another 5x5 Performer special. Now, what this is, very, very simply, is I talk about a performer that I have a lot of respect for, and I show 5 videos of them performing 5 tricks that they have performed at some point in their career. Now, it doesn't have to be a signature trick of theirs. It could be something that's a little bit more lesser known. It's just 5 routines that I've seen them perform over the years that I think are absolutely incredible, and just a reason why the performers that I spotlight in these videos are as good as they are. And today I'm going to be, how do you follow up Paul Daniels? Because the first one I did of these is Paul Daniels, who is obviously a legend that is missed every day in the magic industry. How do you follow up Paul Daniels? Well, the only way to follow up Paul Daniels is by talking about another legend in the magic community, somebody that has overcome so much diversity and is a shining beacon of light when it comes to inspiration, performing, and just generally being a nice guy. Overcome so much, had such an incredible career, and has released more commercial magic to the magic community than almost anyone else. I am, of course, talking about the one and only Wayne Dobson. That's right, this 5x5 performance special is going to be all on Wayne Dobson. Now, I've interviewed Wayne on the channel before. A lot of people are aware of his story. Wayne came up from working in really rough working men's clubs, got a break on TV, and became one of the, if not the biggest name on television in the 80s and 90s. His career was just epic, the sort of career that anybody watching this would wish to have within the magic industry, and also did it by being a really nice guy. Unfortunately, as has been well documented, suffered a disease which unfortunately led to him ultimately not performing as much as he did. And this is the sort of thing that would have stopped anyone dead in their tracks, and nobody would have blamed Wayne if he hung up his cape and stopped performing there and then. But instead, he never let it get to him. He carried on, just being, like I said, a shining beacon of light in the magic industry. And through his company, he has released books, he has released DVDs, he has released downloads, he has released tricks, all of which have something in common. And what they have in common is that they are incredibly powerful magic that anyone can do, whilst as well as being incredibly powerful and well thought out, are generally very easy to do as well. Some of the classic routines that people perform these days have been performed by Wayne Dobson and have been created by Wayne Dobson. And what's great is he's not stopped performing. I was watching him at the IBM convention in September. He still performs. He does not let adversity stop him, and that's what I mean about being inspirational. This man, as well as creating so much incredible magic, is an inspiration. And to be honest, I could do a year's worth of 5x5s talking about some of his magic and how amazing he is, both the stuff that is brought out recently and also stuff from years ago as well. However, I'm going to talk about 5 particular routines that maybe one of them I have to talk about because it's the one everybody talks about when they talk about Wayne Dobson. But then I'm going to be going through a few other videos that I've seen of Wayne over the years that I don't think many people are aware of, and just show what an incredible performer he is. So buckle up and get ready for a 5x5 Wayne Dobson special. So the first performance we're going to be looking at is going to be the Royal Variety performance. Now, this is the moment where a lot of people say, you know what, this is when Wayne solidified his legacy. This is, in many ways, his big break. Now, he had been performing on TV before this and had been getting interview spots with, various different programs like the Joe Longthorne Show. But this was huge. Just being invited onto the Royal Variety Show is a big deal. But he used it as a way of announcing to the world, hey, this is who I am and this is what I do. And a lot of the success that Wayne had in his career was as a result of showcasing himself in such an incredible light during this performance, which makes it even more amazing that he chose to do two tricks that are kind of tricks that a lot of people have done or do. So he started off by doing a very quick version of 5-card repeat and then went into sponge balls. However, it's how he performed these two routines that made the difference. Anyone else could have gone on and done 5-card repeat and sponge balls, and it wouldn't have led to anything. It would have been a highlight of their career at best, but wouldn't really have led to anything. But what Wayne did is he absolutely stole the show at this event. He stole the show at the Royal Variety Performance, and he did it with two tricks that everyone knows. It's such a brave decision to go in and do something. You know, I don't think I could do that. If I was invited to do the Royal Variety Show, I'd be sitting here thinking, right, okay, I have to put something very unique, very different together that nobody else has done before. Something incredibly different to anything else. But not Wayne. Not Wayne, no. What Wayne did is he did two tricks, but it was his personality, his presentation, his delivery, his audience management. It wasn't the trick. And I think the thing that you can learn from watching this particular routine is that the trick doesn't matter. If it's been done before, it doesn't matter. It's you. That's what people buy into. They buy into you. They don't buy into the trick. And if there's ever a performance that's highlighted that more, I can't think of anything. This is the performance that highlights how important it is to be a likable performer on stage. Because if you do that, the world is your oyster. If you've not seen this before, you're in for a treat. Let's have a look at it. Here he is, Wayne at the Royal Variety Performance.
Thank you very much indeed and good evening. First of all, I'd like to point out, and secondly, I would like to say this to you all, this. And thirdly, for the hard of hearing, I'll repeat that. And fourthly, here are a few small words, if at, on, why, how. Fifthly, here's a joke for the telepathics. And sixthly, here's a joke for the dyslexics. Junbun Baligagadudada. Seventhly, here's a joke for the paranoics. He's behind you. And eighthly, here's a trick. It's a trick about a trick where I saw a guy do an amazing thing with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cards. He took the 5 cards, and what he did was he threw away 2. Now, to my amazement and everybody else's, he still had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cards. No matter how many times he threw away 2, he always had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cards. Now, this part of the trick, I was as baffled as you were, and I too forgot to applaud. So I thought, no, please don't stop. I thought, wouldn't it be great if I could walk on it this evening with these 5 cards and throw away 2 and still have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5? And what would be good is to take the 5 and throw away 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and be left with 1, 2, rather than throw away 1, 2 and be left with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cards. Thank you very much indeed. Thank you. Well, thank you very much indeed. What a wonderful audience. I wish I had a better act. Now, I need the assistance of 2 gentlemen, preferably the gentleman just down there. How about you, sir, and the gentleman over there? Would you step this way, and a round of applause for these 2 wonderful sports, all right? Up here for 5 minutes. That's great. Okay. Thank you very much. Great to have you up here. Harry Carpenter, thank you. Thank you. Nice to have you up here. Great is, Harry. See, you couldn't decide which suit to wear. Never mind, you're half right. So was good. It's great to have you up here. Your name is? Frank, okay. And your first name? Oh, Frank. Now, Frank, what we're going to do... What do you do for a living, Frank?
Table tennis.
Table tennis, great, okay. What we're going to do is... To do this trick, you must be the same distance away from him as he is from you. Excellent. You're working so well. What I'm going to do is we're going to do an amazing trick now with 2 balls, okay? If I can find them. They're here. They're here, okay? 2 balls. These are not the ordinary, average, run-of-the-mill balls. They're sponge balls, okay? Hold out your hand for me, Harry. Great, another clean one. Now, I would like you to hold that one there. That's good. Hold that ball there. That's great. Can I have your left hand? No, your other left hand. Thank you. And it's not on the end of your left wrist, Frank. No more clues. All right, we'll use your right hand. I'll make it easy for you. All right? Hold that ball there. Okay? Just don't squeeze it just yet. All right? Just keep it sort of encroached slightly. All right? Just like that. Brilliant. Now, you have a ball and you have a ball. Have a ball. These balls are both exactly the same, except for this one. Mm-hmm. This is a red one. This is a green one dyed red. this one is this one and that one is that one. I'll place this one where that one was and that one where this one was. Now, that one where this one was is going to jump and join this one where that one is. Following this? Good. Would you like that one or this one? Which one?
That one.
That one. No, that's this one. Even easier. Even easier. We'll call this one Tom and this one Dick. You can be Harry. What we'll do... When I do that, you squeeze your hand around his Tom. That's what your job is. Now, what we'll do is... This is the trick. Okay? Squeeze it, Harry. Nothing. Squeeze. Strange. Actually, you should have a squeaky one. Would you take that, Harry? Squeeze it. Nothing. Squeeze it. Strange. What is that? Oh, nothing. Do that with your hand. I know it was something. Now, you keep that there. I see. You keep that there. Okay. Squeeze. You got it. Good. Lift your arm up. Now, this is it, okay? Now, this is a trick. What is it?
A trick.
A trick?
Yes.
Good. You okay?
Yes.
Good. Nothing wrong?
No.
Good. That's fantastic, that.
Thank you.
Good. Have you been doing that long?
No, you know.
Good. Say hello to the audience.
Hello.
Good. This is it. Okay? Now. They love it.
I know.
Good. Now, this... Can you hear that, Harry? Yes. Oh, you come over here. Are you okay? Yes. You sure? Yes. Say hello to the audience. Hello. Now, what we're going to do...
Hey, watch it.
I'm sorry. Now, this is the trick. Raise your hand an inch. Oh, if that's an inch, I've got no problems. Now, I would take this ball and place it in the left hand. In a moment, you will squeeze your hand around that ball, Harry, but don't squeeze too hard because remember, it's his ball. So when I take this one here, nothing up the sleeve, would you put your finger in the top there, Frank? Just place it in there, the finger. Great. Now, this may not mean much to you. No. But I'm a Martian and you're now pregnant. Now, if you... Can I take it? Squeeze your hand. You squeeze your hand around really tight, squeeze it tight. Keep your hand closed, turn your hand over, place your other hand around your wrist. Excellent. You're going to make this ball become invisible. Feel it there? Watch it become... This is an invisible ball. Take it.
Thank you.
Good. And... You don't mind?
No.
Good. Now... Ready? Now, this... I've got something for you.
Ooh.
This is an invisible magic wand.
Thank you.
Good. It's very special. Do you know why?
No.
Well, it makes things bigger. Can I try it? No, it's for him. All right? Absolutely for you in a moment, all right? This... Wave it around like that. Throw the ball towards Harry's hand. Would you do that? Oh, good. You feel it? Now, this...
I need the toilet.
Hold on a minute. 1 minute, okay?
I'm gonna do it.
Good. Please don't do it. I just did it. Did you? That's it. Harry, take your hand off your wrist. Would you do that for me? Keep that hand closed, but turn it over. Place the other hand over the top like so. Very carefully unfold the bottom hand. Once you've unfolded the bottom hand, separate your hands with one ball in each hand, and the audience will go wild with applause. Thank you very much indeed. Harry Carpenter, Frank Bruno, thank you very much indeed. Thank you. Thanks a lot. Okay? Thank you very much. Thank you very much. You know, there's an old saying in this business that says it's nice to be important, but it's more important to be nice. And tonight you have been important. Also very, very nice. Good night. God bless. Do take care. Thanks a lot.
Okay, so the second routine we're going to be looking at, the second video we're going to be looking at, is one that happened later on in Wayne's career. He was still performing, but this is one that happened a little bit later on, and it's Wayne Dobson and Freddie Starr performing basically what we can describe as a floating piano. And this is a perfect example of how to present an illusion without doing it the same way as everyone else. There's so many people that do illusions and they do it the same way as David Copperfield. It's kind of like, right, okay, I am going to, have wind blowing my hair and I'm going to have some dramatic music, because that's what you're supposed to do when you do illusions, right? I'm here in Blackpool at the moment filming this, and I'm seeing adverts for illusion shows, and that's how they're portrayed, that epic kind of thing. Well, what Wayne and Freddie did here is, first of all, a masterclass in how to be a double act. Even though they aren't a double act, it was a masterclass in how to be a double act and how to have that look, no, see type of comedy built into a routine that's really effectively a grand illusion. But the way that this whole routine is constructed, it's so funny. It's so awesome. It's not about the piano rising. It's about the performance around it. It's about the set piece that has been created. And yeah, there's a piano that's rising, but that's not really what it's about. And that moment at the end when Freddie goes down like a light and then the piano smashes into a million pieces. You know, way back in the day when I first started doing illusions with Russell Leeds, we had a version of Heads Off. And the version of Heads Off that we did was very much based on this particular illusion, or the way that Wayne presented it. Because we were trying to do the same thing where the head coming off is not the focal point of the presentation. It's something that's happening, but that's not really the focal point. And that routine never would have come to be if it wasn't for seeing Wayne do this. It's an incredible trick. And it's a masterclass in how to present an illusion and do it in a different way to everyone else. So here we go. Let's have a look at this. This is the floating piano.
Tonight, I'm going to do some levitation.
Really?
Yes, that is the power of making things rise. Making things rise with the mind alone.
Really?
You need a pretty girl for this, all right? A pretty girl. Select one from the audience.
It's not easy, is it?
Not really, no.
To just move up there.
That's it.
Sorry.
We need some music. We need,
Music?
Yeah, music. Yeah, something nice and hypnotic, like "I Will Always Love You."
Would you?
That is the music. There's a piano there. There is a piano there.
Ah, I didn't see that.
Yes. Were you?
No.
Now. Got your music?
Yes, music. I've got my music.
Good. Ready?
Yes.
Go. Okay. You rise. You rise in the air. You will feel very light. Your body will get so light. I mean, so light. You will just be under my command completely. Right? I don't know why you're not actually rising here. Put your arm. That's great. Actually, you rise. Totally. You're right.
Wayne.
Just carry on, Freddie, playing the piano.
No, Wayne. Wayne.
What? What? She won't rise at all. Wait, she won't rise. You've got to bring her out of the trance. Snap your fingers.
Can't do it.
Like that.
Okay, so for the third video, we're going to go and look at another of Wayne's classic performances. Well, you know, about a year ago, I did a video, and I did a video from Newmarket, and I did a 5x5 where I got various different performers from the Newmarket area to perform on camera, and I talked about the trick. And Magic Maisie, who I think is an incredible magician and has a very bright future ahead of her, she did Wayne Dobson's invisible deck routine. And I said at the time that Wayne Dobson's invisible deck routine is simply brilliant. And I stand by it. I don't know why so many people don't do it, and instead they do the classic invisible deck, because everybody does the classic invisible deck and they do it exactly the same way. But this takes the same basic premise, that of an invisible deck and having somebody pick a card from an invisible deck. But instead of using a deck of cards, all that you're using is a real invisible deck, using an invisible deck, a purse frame, an invisible purse, an invisible table, and that's it. The methodology behind this is brilliant. And I put it to you that this routine is way more impressive to a lay audience than the classic invisible deck. Because if you think about it, there's not a deck of cards in play. It's not like a lay person can think, well, hang on a minute, maybe he just turned it around when I wasn't looking or something. From their point of view, nothing's in play. It's an empty purse frame, and that's it. So the moment when Wayne puts his hand inside that purse and shows it's empty and then immediately pulls out a folded card, that's an incredible moment. And then the card turns out to be the card that they picked. I mean, wow, right? The other thing is I want to watch the presentation for this, because this is, again, a masterclass from Wayne Dobson on how to do comedy magic correctly. It's how to handle an audience member, how to have that kind of depreciating style, but doing it in a way where you're not actually being mean. Just the way that the whole situation is handled is hilarious, and you can tell. And the problem is a lot of people do comedy magic and they make it really personal and they make it really vicious, and that's a problem, because it shouldn't be like that. And this, as I say, it's a masterclass in how to do comedy magic. It's a masterclass in how to manage an audience member on stage and make them feel comfortable while still making it very funny for the audience. And also, it's the best invisible deck routine ever. If you're watching this and you do the invisible deck, seriously think about doing Wayne Dobson's invisible deck routine instead, because it is a million billion times better. Let's have a look at it.
Tonight we're going to do a trick with one of these. This is a purse frame. It's made of invisible material. Okay, the gentleman just there. What's your name?
Paul.
Paul. Have you ever seen one of these before?
No.
You haven't. Would you just take a look at this? Would you do that for me? Just have a look at it, make sure it's all right. Is that all right? Yeah. Would you just bring it over this way a bit? Just there? Thanks. Just a bit further. The audience will give you a big round of applause for coming out. Thank you, Paul. Step over that way. Good. Now, Paul, can you keep moving, because the lights will fade your trousers, all right? So they keep doing that at all times, right? You've never met me before, Paul, right? Oh, you're dancing. Okay, that's great. Now, if, yeah. What? Sure. Now, what, if, should we dance for a while? Now, if, Paul, would you open that for me? That's great. Reach inside and take out whatever's inside. You don't know what it is, do you? It is an invisible deck of cards. Impressed, eh? Close up the frame. Keep the cards. This is for real. Place the frame in your pocket. Your shirt pocket, your trouser pocket, whichever pocket you like, okay? Shuffle the pack of invisible cards. Again? Good. Change hands. You've shuffled the cards. No, you must take them out of the box first. It's very important you do that. It is so important, because we can't do the trick otherwise. Take them out of the box. Good. Thank you very much. Which is the box? Good. Can I take the box? Good. What would I step over this way? I would like you to take this box, take it, and place it on that table just there. Good. Now, it's taller than that. You put it on the bottom shelf. Say it. Now, bring the table over this way, but you needn't pick it up because it's on wheels. So all you do is you put the cards in that hand. Good. You take the table and you go like, whoa, whoa, wait a minute. You go, no. You go like that. I'm really sorry, sir, I am. Now, if, the boxes fell off. Now, spread the cards out on the table. Face up. Sorry, they were face up, they're now face down. Now, leave them. Face down. Take the jokers out, because they're face down. Take the jokers out. 1, 2. That is incredible, considering the cards are face down. Now, take them, check them, they're jokers. This is wicked. Now, if you turn them face up.
The whole lot?
Yeah, of course, yeah. Now, as you can see, they're in numerical order. Clubs, hearts, diamonds, spades. You agree with that? Yeah. Good. Now, cut them into 4 equal hemorrhoids. Sorry, piles. Now, if you... Clubs, hearts, diamonds, spades. Take your hands like, pick up any 2 piles. Which are?
Clubs and diamonds.
Brilliant. Throw them away. pick up the hearts and spades. Hand me any one. Which are?
Spades.
Brilliant. What have you got left?
Hearts, I think.
I will take them, I will spread them out. Take any heart. Look at it. What? No, you. What? What? Did you pick the same one or that you threw down?
Yeah.
Good. What is the heart that you chose?
7.
The 7. That is correct. Now, show the 7 of hearts around to the audience. Them. Don't let me see it. Good. Fold it up. Good. Done that? You have. Good. Now, take the frame out of your pocket. Good. Now, have you got it? Take it out. Now, you okay? Good. Take the frame, open and place the 7 of hearts inside. Would you do that for me? That's great. The folded 7 of hearts goes inside. If I take that from you, you see, you think I've been joking up to now, where you freely chose hearts, you freely chose the 7 of hearts, placed it inside the frame. Anything that goes in there becomes invisible, anything that comes out becomes visible, like a piece of folded card. This folded card could be any folded card, but if it happened to be the 7 of hearts, that would be just amazing, wouldn't it? Take it away, Paul. Thank you very much. You're a great sport. Thanks a lot. Thank you.
So next up, we're going to be looking at another trick that was filmed in the height of Wayne's career. And we're going to talk about, very, very simply, the cut and restored silk. One that I talked, when I showed you the footage of the Raw Variety Show, I said, hey, it was very brave that Wayne took what is in essence 2 classic pieces of magic and put them together and performed them on one of the biggest shows that he would ever have done at that point. Well, that's kind of what he's done his whole career. A lot of the time you see him performing classic pieces of magic. And that's something to learn. If you see a lot of the magicians these days that are on TV, and they've got a team of consultants doing crazy stuff that requires a really elaborate setup and multiple stooges and so on and so forth. But you look at the stuff that Wayne Dobson was doing during his career, there's nothing like that. It's very, very simple. And this routine really does illustrate that. It's the classic cut and restored silk. And you know what? I used to perform the cut and restored silk. And I don't know, because it was a long time ago, but I think I performed it based on watching Wayne do this routine. I might be wrong. My memory is hazy at best now. I've had a birthday and I'm even older. But I'm pretty sure that was the case. And the cut and restored silk is such a great moment for stage. It really is. Because you see that the silk is separate. There is no ambiguity. The silk is cut and then it goes together. I mean, it's great. Now, what I love about Wayne's presentation here, there's a few things I love. First of all, it showcases that if he wants to, he's not just a comedy magician. This routine isn't really played for comedy and yet still delivers really, really strongly. Second of all, the routining behind this is great. You do the cut and restored silk, and for anybody who knows the version of the cut and restored silk that you're seeing Wayne do here, you'll know that it can't be examined at the end, right? There's an issue that can't be examined. The routining behind this, where you then take the silk, vanish it into the hand. I love the moment of going into the pocket and then bringing your hand back out and showing that the silk is still there, which is a great bit. If you remember the late great Scott Alexander, him and Puck did that in their hanky-panky routine to really great effect. The whole idea of doing the ditch and then showing that it's still there is such an incredible convincer. And that moment where the silk vanishes at the end and you're left with absolutely nothing, beautiful, absolutely beautiful piece of magic. If you've not seen it, you're in for a treat. Here it is, Wayne Dobson performing the torn and restored, or the cut and restored silk.
Good evening. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to talk to you about dreaming. And why not? The other night, I had a very strange dream. I dreamt I was awake. And when I woke up, I found I was asleep. I have some really weird dreams. The other night I dreamt I was Boy George. It was my own fault. I fell asleep on a camp bed. In this dream, I was doing a show, once again. It was a night similar to this. It was a seance. In this dream, I had a red handkerchief. I could tell it was red by the colour. Inside my pocket, I had a pair of skizzers. I say skizzers because I can't say scissors. I took the scissors and cut the handkerchief into approximately 2 equal pieces. They were also the same length. I took the 2 pieces, and there were definitely 2 there. 1 and 2. And what I did was, I took these 2 pieces and put them together, like so. Once I'd done that, I rolled them around, like this. Very slowly. I took them and pulled. When I did, the handkerchief became white. It was then I pushed the handkerchief slowly into my hand. Very, very slowly. I reached into my pocket, and the audience thought exactly what you thought. But you don't know how wrong they were. They wanted to have a look at the handkerchief once more. I showed it to them. From my pocket, I took the card. A flick, watch.
I've got one final routine, and the final routine I think is a perfect example of why Wayne Dobson is as good as he is. Now, this is from a TV show from the 1990s called Talking Telephone Numbers with Philip Schofield, where they had guest acts on that had to generate a number at the end. I remember watching every single one of these and loving them. They actually showcased a lot of magicians on this TV show. And you're going to see here a trick, very simply using 10 jumbo cards. Now, the trick is actually a David Williamson trick, and I've actually talked about it before. If you want to see me talk about it, I did a video about 6 to 8 months ago, and it was called the 3 best card tricks for kids that you've never seen before, and I performed this on that video about 8 months ago. It's you can get it from his first book of magic, which you can still get from places, and I believe it's as a download from Penguin or Vanishing Ink as well. It's a self-working trick, really. There's a moment in there that's a bit of a sleight if you want to actually use the sleight, and it's designed as a close-up trick. Every time I've ever seen it performed, I've seen it performed as a close-up trick, and every time I've performed it as a close-up trick. This is Wayne doing that trick with jumbo cards, and I remember seeing that and going, oh my God, what a great idea. And it is a great idea. This is an amazing trick. It's self-working. It requires no skill. But it's so funny. And you'll see the performance. If you haven't seen it before, you'll see the performance in a minute. It's very, very funny. What Wayne has done here is taken what is in essence a close-up trick, made it into jumbo cards, and now it's going to play to the biggest audience. And he's brought 2 volunteers on stage with him. So he's got that banter between the 2 people. He's got the person who ends up being the stooge. They get that wonderful payoff at the end where they get it right. It's a very simple plot that people can follow. The jumbo cards means that it plays to a really big audience. It's just a very funny routine that works really, really well. And this is the sort of thing that you could do in a kid's show. This is the sort of thing that you could do in a family show. This is the sort of thing that an MC could do as a audience participation bit in between acts, and it would absolutely play to the biggest audience. It's a really great idea, and I don't know why nobody's thought about it before. If they have, I've not seen anyone else do it in this way other than Wayne. And again, this is like a big deal. I mean, at this point, it wasn't a big deal for Wayne Dobson. This is a guy that's had his own TV show. He's been on TV more times than, most people perform. So it's probably not as big a deal for him. But still, any time that you go and perform on TV, and I believe that this was live, Talking Telephone Numbers, I believe it was a live thing. Anytime you go on live TV, there's always a bit of a there. And he's going on and he's doing a self-working card trick. He's going on and doing a self-working card trick, and he's absolutely smashing it with it. And I think there's a lesson that we can learn from that. So let's have a look at this. This is your final video of Wayne Dobson performing a trick that I think is absolutely incredible.
Now, what we're going to do is a card trick.
Right.
By way of a change, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Now, these are not big cards, it's just that I have small hands.
Right, okay.
Do you believe in coincidence?
Yeah, I do.
You do? Yeah. That's funny, so do I. What a coincidence. Okay. Now, there's 10 cards here in a random sequence,
Yes.
okay? And what you do is you spell, okay? You see, if I spell A, C, E, right, we should get ace. All right, simple, really, okay?
Clever,
So, no,
clever,
please,
clever.
save it till the end. I've got a week finish. Now,
It's going to take you a week.
yes, it is. T-W-O spells two, all right? So easy. I mean, and T-H-R-E-E spells three. It's easy.
Yep.
See? So just try four.
Oh, me?
Yes, of course.
Okay.
Yes.
4.
Okay, four.
Okay, F-O-U-R is 4. It's 10.
No, let me show you. No, it's no problem. It's okay. So you go like this. F-O-U-R spells 4. Okay? Simple. Emma, would you try 5?
Yeah,
to do this
I'll try
trick, by the
that.
way, you must be the same distance away from Philip as Philip is from you. That makes it work.
Okay,
Yes.
okay.
Try 5.
F. I. V.
E. It's 5. See?
Yes!
Simple, isn't it? Six.
6.
Very easy.
S-I-X.
It's 6.
Duh.
10 again.
Yeah,
No.
it's a
That goes like
problem
this.
here. And the distance was right and everything.
That's it. It's S-I-X. It's 6. It's so simple. Let me show you. 7. No, 7's lucky.
Yeah?
Try it. 7.
Me do?
Yes.
Yeah,
I
do
do
it again.
7. Okay.
Relax.
S-E-V-E-N.
It's 7.
7.
No. It's 10 again. No, it's 7. If you got actually,
Shall I do it?
It's so
Don't get
simple.
smug though, all right?
What?
Just don't get smug.
Sorry, I just know how to do it. S.
S-E-V-E-N.
A 7.
Nobody loves a smart Alex today.
8.
What can I say?
It's your turn. You've got to.
E-I-G-H-T 10. It has to
It's so easy, Philip. You go like this. You go E-I-G-H-T is 8. It's so simple. Try 9. There's 2 cards left.
be. N-I-N-E.
It's 9. It's so simple. It goes with
sad.
N-I-N-E is 9. It's so simple. Try 10.
You don't get that one.
T-E-N.
So there you go, guys. I hope you enjoyed the reposting of that video, and I want you to do me a favour, leave a comment down below, but leave a comment of your favourite Wayne Dobson story. What inspired you about Wayne? I want to know. Let me know in the comments down below. I'll be back again very, very soon with another video. Until then, my name's Craig, and this is Magic TV.